Oh man, that was funny. I I had to kind of drop the stream, but what the heck? I just thought I'd pop on. And Friday night, just got back from dinner with the family. Had a really pleasant dinner with the family, so just thought I'd pop on, come on down, and see if I can't do something with this tap. So, hey, Zenbender, Jeff Thorson, Zix Altar, Zach, 3D Life, finally caught me live, 3D Life. There we go. Yes. So I don't know if you guys saw my tweet today. Look at that beast. Here, let me, boom, look at this beast. How's that for a funky looking stealth burner cover, huh? Look at that. Will that kind of go with my theme? What do you think? That might kind of go cool with my theme. I might change that out. I got to get the LED out of here anyways because I kind of buffed it up when I put it in. So we may switch that out with this. So the only downfall, and it might not be an issue, I don't know, is it's PLA. I wanted to test the AMS on the Bamboo Lab, so I just threw this on last night, and for the painting, I just went to the triangle mode, and I just randomly picked triangles to color. It's not even colored right through; it's just colored on the surface. So I thought, considering my first time, it turned out pretty darn good. Came out nice and clean. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. So hey, Joe Velasco. Yeah, so I think that I may just throw that on there. I think that'll be a nice little finishing touch for this thing. So, anyways, that's kind of cool. And in the meantime, and in between time, I figure I got the wire. I did this off stream just because. Hey, Mika Steve, I got the wire run through the drag chains. I ended up popping them open and blah blah blah. So yeah, so I got the wire run. I've got the tap plugged in. The wires all run down underneath. Now I just have to give myself some 5-volt power, and then I think what I have to do, if I'm not mistaken, I have the document open. I have the clipper documentation open for hooking up the tap. I think I use the same signal plug, I think, that this Z probe is plugged into, if I'm reading things correctly. So I can go down, find where this one, I don't know, but I think why not? Because we're going to eliminate this one on the back. So I would think I could probably, I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna figure that out. So I don't know how easy this is going to be to turn on its side. Now that I've got all these clips on here, I'm just going to have to be careful when I lay it down to get at the electronics that I don't squish these clips too bad. So let me get them all kind of folded in, sort of out of the way, and then I'll just be resting on the part that's yeah, I think that'll work fine that way. Okay. Because I'm going to lean it down on its side to get underneath to the electronics. Hey, Steve, how are you, man? So yeah, so we'll see. So we'll see if we can get the tap going. As I say, we've got the tap in, and everything seems to be functioning the way it should work. I just have to figure out how to wire it. Now, from what I gather, it's 5 volts. So we're going to have our red and black, which is going to provide our power, and then we're going to have the white, which is going to provide the signal. So if anybody knows, so because we're eliminating this back switch behind the bed, do I plug the signal wire into the same place that that switch goes to? Because of course Clipper knows that when this switch is triggered, you've hit. Did you use the tip you gave me in the earlier stream comments? I'm not sure, Steve. Remind me. Remind me, because there's so many. This is an old brain, so you got to remind me. I might have, but we're all back together. And I think since my belts were short, I ended up I ran new belts. Yeah, I just bought new belts. It was easy, but the way, and it was who was it? It was oh, one of the guys that was watching. Oh man, I'll remember. Um, you just use the ZN stop, change it to a virtual Z, and all that jazz. Okay, that's what I thought. Um, the way we ran the belts was we put new belts in, but I didn't have to really refeed them. You got to watch the live stream. I'm actually going to make a video out of it. But we took the belts. I don't have a spare belt here. I just took the belts end to end. Who was it that gave me the idea? But he gave me the idea. I implemented it. It worked beautifully. Shrink wrap tubing. We shrink wrapped the two ends of the belts together. Shrink wrap made it was very tight. Shrink wrap. Shrink wrapped it. Pulled the new belt through like it was nothing. It's the easiest belt change in the freaking world. I swear. I'm going to be making a video on it because I filmed the process specifically because it was like I didn't want the stress of having to run the belts through, especially these ones again. So anyways, so let's get this turned on. Oh, and I don't know if you saw, Steve, what I printed is, I don't know, it's either obnoxious or it's not. I had to test out my Bamboo Lab AMS. So I figure this is going to be a decent fit for my multicolor printer. So we're gonna end up throwing this on here eventually here. So that's kind of my funky take on this thing. Why are you okay? Is this thing set? Okay, this thing is set to follow my face again. This is annoying. I just have to turn this off. For some reason, my computer decided to shut everything. It must have restarted because all of my applications I had open were missing. Installing 360 controller, that's what I want. Open up. Where is my, there we are, and turn off my face follow feature. There we go. That way it's not following me all around. Like an 80s rock guitar. Well, exactly. I mean, all I did was paint the triangles. I thought it was easier than trying to paint. Just painted random triangles, black on the front, red on the side. Oh, what the heck? So, and it's going to have the rainbow bar LED, so it's kind of appropriate. Anyways, let's get this beast turned on its side. Like so. Oh, I swear that gets heavier every day. Okay, we have the wire coming in here from the tap, from the sensor. Now I need to find out where the Z probe comes in. So let's go ahead and find out where that comes in. The Z probe. Yeah. I'm not even 100%. I'm not even sure how to approach this, let alone. Anyways, I do know that we've got to go over to the board. So we have to cut this wire to the appropriate length. So if I'm going to come across here, we're going to come down here, and we're going to come onto the board somewhere. So I can cut this guy off right about here. I like to go a little longer than I need, just because. You saw it on Twitter. Yeah, I did tweet that out today, that cover. So now my question is, my plan was to take one of these fan ports here, which I happen to have an open one right there, throw the jumper onto the 5-volt pins, use the red and black wire to power the tap from the 5-volt fan port here. And then the white wire is going to be the signal, which I'm not sure where the signal's got to go to. And that's why I was going to try and track down the Z probe here that's on the back of the bed, but it's 2 wires, and I'm assuming it's just yeah, I don't know how exactly how that's going to work. You remember now, use 5-volt from the fan, and then signal and ground from the end stop. Oh, signal and ground from the end stop. Okay. Hence the 2 wires on the end stop. Okay. I just have to figure out where those end stop wires are going to. without stressing too much about it. I could and I think don't they go to the breakout board here? Somewhere? And then I can track them from the breakout board. No, or do they? Hang on. No, they don't. This is just the cluster. Let me see. Anyways, XN stop. Let's just see what we got here. I'm just winging this, right? Hot end fan, thermistor, part cooling fan, XY stop, XY stop, XES is X and stop. And that red one right here, hot end. And this little one up here all on its own is the YN stop, XN stop, XY stop. No, so it doesn't come into here. You skip the breakout board. P37? Okay. Let me have a look. I happen to have a nice large printout of the octopus. So let me find P37 on this board. I know you guys could probably locate it in a heartbeat, but this is me we're talking about. This is me. Hey, Fabian, how are you? Who else has joined and I haven't said hi to? Don't be insulted if I don't say hi to you when you join. It just means I haven't seen you yet. There we go. Okay, let me look P37. Oops, helps if I have it the right way around. P37 is, that's J63, P37 or J37? Oh, there's R. Oh, there we are. P. P7, P15. I should be able to, I'm just going to have a quick peek here. Of course, it's going to be one of these right up here. What am I thinking? It's right up here. Part fan, hot end fan, end stops, bed thermistor, hot end thermistor, X stop, Z stop, right here. There it is, right there. Right there. There's the Z stop. I found it. Of course, it's labeled, so duh. It's labeled. Oh, speaking of labeled, oh, this is cool. I'm going to do this for this. Yeah. My Christmas present from my lovely wife. What size do I have in here? 1.5 millimeter, 6 millimeter. Yeah, cool. So I'm going to go on here. Yeah, I found it. It's on the bottom. It was right in front of me. It says ZN stop. I mean, boom, there we go. And I think, so we have ground and we have, I'll just have to check the board on that one. So we have ground. There it is right there. It was actually J30, J20. Oh, not quite down to J23. It is right over here. And it is there's the jumpers. Get over to the jumpers and we're down this way. And it is J23, no, J33. Yeah. The ZN stop is on J31, and on J31, the ground is the middle, and the signal is the one closest to the outside. So the ground is the middle pin. Signal is the outside pin. Are we tapping yet? We're working on it. Not yet. But I got to do something first with this new cool tool. And you guys, you either know what this is or you don't. So we power it on. Okay. Now this is cool. I go over this way. I clear what's on here and I clear all labels. Yes. So that's the OK button. And I go T A P and I go print. Oh, this is fun. And then I cut it. You ready? Guess what this is? Where's my little knife? Come on. Open up. Open up. It's my first time doing this, so I practice with one, but it's my first time doing an actual one. There we go. Why is the label maker so chunky? Oh, I don't know. But let's just see if I have the right size in here. I do. Look at that. Printable heat shrink tubing. Yay! Where'd I put my shrink gun? My heat gun. Printable heat shrink tubing. My Christmas present. So I go on here and I can go boom, shrink it on. The only difference between a boy and a man is the price of his toys. Shrink, baby. Type is probably too big. I didn't plan that too well. Now it looks like Tad. Oh, I don't care. Oh, this was a Christmas gift as well, this little portable shrinker. So it was a great Christmas gift from my lovely wife. But I now have a heat shrink on here that says tap. Cool. Anyways, little things that amuse me. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's clunky, but it's because it'll take heat shrink and regular tape. And I got 3 different sizes of heat shrink with it. So that was just exciting. Sorry. Now that I can label all my wires. Very cool. Okay, so we're gonna let's see if I can repurpose the come on out of there, ZN stop. There we go. So I've got some plugs. I'm gonna leave that on there. I've got the proper connectors here. So I got 2 of these connector kits. So this is a 3 plug. And we're going to have the ground in the middle. So we're going to do a 3. One of these. And we're not going to drop it. Now let's grab some tools here. We have our strippers. Here's another stream with strippers on it, guys. Woohoo! Okay, we have our strippers and our crimpers. So let's strip some wires here. So this is great because I can get the power right from here, and it's right we're going to plug the Z in right under here, and I can just get the power up from this second one up here. Because of course the first one is powering the the first one's not powering anything. I can just take it this one. I've already got a jumper on the 5-volt point here. Yeah, okay. I think that was intended for powering the LEDs, but I decided that was not the right thing or something like that. So we still haven't got the LEDs working because I did blow a board to her. I blew something. We had that smoke, right? And I still don't know where the smoke came from. I don't think this is where the smoke came from, but I did pick up a spare one of these boards because I thought maybe I blew something on this board. I think this was $6 or something. But then again, can you actually blow something on this board? There's no resistors or anything on this. So, but I don't know where else the smoke would have come from. Anyways, if not, I have a spare board. Okay, so we got the strippers done. Sorry, the strippers have done their job. They're quick. These are quick strippers. They've already done their job. Except we're a little bit long on this one. I find when I crimp these pins, they have to be a nice perfect length. Here's where we test my eyesight because we are crimping onto, like, look at my massive man hands. We're crimping onto those. I can hardly hold it in my fingers. It's so freaking small. Okay, so I've learned my lesson on how to do this. So what I used to do is I ended up inserting this too far into here, and I'd always squish the pins that lock into the actual plug. So I've learned very well how to do this. So we have the ground in the middle. So black is ground. because that's the way it's wired up on the end under the tap. Let's make sure we have no frayed wires. There's nothing to be afraid of, wires. I won't hurt you. See what I did there? And we'll put that in and we'll crimp that. And just like that, I wish I could show you closer, but trust me, that's a perfect crimp. Didn't notify you? Well, I didn't. It was sort of just a... Oh, it didn't notify you that I was actually live. Apparently YouTube doesn't do that. This is an impromptu thing anyways, too. So, okay, so we actually need one of these on every one of these anyways. So I get 2 more out. I have 2 of these kits, and I think it was a shipping error from Amazon's end, and I ended up with 2 of these kits of these things. So I have enough of these to last me forever. Second one, and I'm amazed with these new glasses. I can do this without putting my big magnifiers on because I can actually see what I'm doing now with these glasses. It's amazing what having the right prescription will do for you. Okay, and with a steady hand, and just like that. Perfect crimp on the red one. Uno mas. Or for those of you that don't speak French, 1 more. I know it's not French, trust me. It's my sense of humor. Anybody who's been watching my streams long enough has known that I have a twisted, weird, dry sense of humor. 9:59, you got a notification. Oh, wow. Hey, MG20 Techs. Who else there? Tom. Teza. If I haven't said hi to you, forgive me. I'm notorious for not watching chat close enough. But that's okay. I get focused. I get hyper-focused on stuff. Especially when I'm... Come on, get in there. Get in. There we go. And perfect crimp number 3. Okay, good. So for this one, we want the signal wire to be towards that side. This plug goes in yay under this way. So we want the signal wire to be on this side. Let me just double check here to make sure. So we're looking at J31. And on J31, we have PG01, we have ground, and we have 3V3, which is 3 volt, I guess 3 volt. But I'm sure PG01 is the pin, is the signal pin, ground is the ground. And again, we're going to power it off of, we're going to power this off of J56. And the positive, the power is this one. So the red one's going to go on this one on the 2-pin plug. And I have set my jumper to the outside plug, which is 5 volts. So we should be okay. Okay, so the signal one is white. So the white is going to go on this side. So we'll pop the white in here. There we go. Black is the ground, which was the middle. Pop that in there. Now we need a 2-pin. I can put this off to the side. Now we need a 2-pin one, which I have here. This one goes in upside down, sort of. So the power, the red, is going to the one facing the middle of the board. And that should be good. So this is how we got it going. We have our ground and our signal and our power. You just got notification after you found it. Hey, Tron. Does my crimper do both the conductor and insulation in one go? It does. Yes. I wish I could show you. I can show you. I'll just, let me show you, because this is interesting. It took me, I kid you not. Let me just grab a piece of, white's not the best to show on a camera. Let me just show a piece of red. I should do a video on this. I know there's lots of them out there. But, so if I strip, and the thing with these is you only want about, 2 millimeters, if that. This might be more like 3 millimeters, but you only want about that much wire showing for these little things. And then, so this is the crimper I'm using. It's called an iWiss or a iWiss or whatever it's called. It's got a few different sizes. I use the middle one. I'm sorry, not the middle one. If you're looking on the screen, I use the second one from the right. So basically, you want to take this guy. These things are so tiny. You want to take this guy, and then you can kind of see. How can I? Okay, so if I actually hold this, yeah. So you can kind of see where the okay, so you can see the tiny little one, which is behind my fingers, is where the wire crimps, and then the little longer one, kind of the two longer ones at the back, are what crimp the insulation. And then you want to make sure, see right in front of my fingers, you want to make sure that when you put this in, you don't get your crimpers beyond that, or it'll crush the part that actually plugs into the connector. So this kind of goes in. This is going to be really hard to see, possibly, but you can kind of see how, if I get some light in, you can kind of see how I've gotten there where that's going to squeeze without affecting the connector itself or the plug itself. And then from this side, and then inside, that's kind of how it sits inside, just like, kind of like that little U shape. And then the wire, you can feel the wire go in, and then you'll feel it go into the part that's going to crimp the insulation. Then you give it a squeeze, and then you'll see what the final result is here. Is, come on. So you can see that it has crimped the wire, and then it's also crimped the insulation. And then we have not crushed. So that tiny little tab sticking up on top is really critical that you don't crush anything under that, because that's what locks it into the connector. There's a good view of it right there. We've crimped the wire underneath. We've crimped the insulation, but we haven't damaged that little plug on the front at all. So it took me, hey, Golden Jaguar, I'm doing it wrong. Come and show me how to do it then. It literally took me about a dozen or more, 10, 20 times just to get it right. But once you get it, you get it. And I also have another iWis, which is a different kind for different kinds of connectors. So the iWis's are a little more expensive for the tools, but boy, they make it such an easy process. And then of course you just you make sure that little tab that's sticking up on it, there's that little tab sticking up. Make sure it goes in the part of the plug that has the openings, because then that little tab is what kind of pops up into that little opening there. So I know it's blurry. I'm going to do a video on this down the road eventually. So, okay, there we are. So we can put this away. Okay. Well, let's see if we got everything right here. See if I've done everything right. So we're going to plug this in, the ground and the signal wire in where the XN stop came out of, which is right there. Okay, and we're going to plug our 5-volt power supply into the very bottom one here. I've moved the jumper over to the far, to the pins closest to the center of the board, which gives it 5 volts. And have I checked the voltage on that? I think I did. I think I'm going to double check. I'm pretty sure I checked the voltage, but I'm going to double check because I know I blew something that one time. We're going to grab. I already made one of these, but I don't know where I put it. So I'm going to just actually, this pin I just made, I'm going to put it on. So it goes down this way. So the 5-volt plug goes here. And how I blew it before was when I was testing my voltage on it, I was dumb enough to try and put my little voltage meter to touch just one of the pins, and it crossed over the 2 pins and blew something. Yeah, there's a special G code. I think I have that document open. I'm pretty sure I do, but we're gonna go just a little bit slow on that part. We're gonna make sure we don't do any damage in that sense. So I'm going to plug just this, basically the reason I'm doing this, I'm going to plug a loose wire into this, into the 5-volt port right here, which should be 5 volts, just to confirm. Okay, then I have the positive right here, and I can just ground my meter on the neutral on here. I can ground on the neutral and test and make sure we have 5 volts coming out. So let's go ahead and plug the printer in. And I freak people out when I plug it in because I reach around here and I plug it in, and there's a voltage here. So I've decided when I do this now, I'm going to come down a little lower, plug it in so that nobody freaks out because I got my hands around that mains voltage there. So, hey, RC Chapman. So let's turn it on and let's get the meter ready, and we'll see what the voltage. We'll make sure we have 5 volts coming out of there. Number one, to make sure it's working. Now I want DC. No, I want AC. I want DC volts, right? DC volts or AC volts? I always get that mixed up. I want DC volts. I'm sure. I don't know why I always get that mixed up, but can't hurt by having the wrong one on. It just won't work. Yeah, so we get down to 0 when we connect them. We get down to 0, so we know this is working. Hey, NH3D. So we're on DC volts. We have our ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold the positive here. Here, let me turn this meter around so y'all can kind of see what's reading on the meter. There we go. You can kind of see the meter now. So we'll hold our positive here. And I do this so I don't have to take this probe and try and touch the positive pin. It's much easier just to have a wire hanging out like this. Go to the neutral. And helps if I hold this on. And see, we're not really getting a constant reading out of that plug. So I wonder if I blew that plug. Let's just see. So I'm going to pop this off of here. Let's go up to the one above it. We should be reading 24 volts out of this. I just want to make sure this is working. Okay. First thing you got to do. Oh no, this is the right side. I was going to say, I thought I had the red one plugged into the wrong side. But I am plugged into the right side. I'm pretty sure, because this says voltage amperage, although this says DC 10 amp. Okay, this is for this side and this is for this side. Okay, we're good. I'm on the right side. Yeah, duh. I'm before I got into 3D printing, I knew nothing, absolutely nothing about electronics. You want to be on the ground of the 24 volt. Oh, I want to be on the ground of this one coming out. Okay, not the neutral. Okay. Good man. So I want to be on the negative here. So on this one, there we go. Okay, we have 24 volts right there. Okay, so we know it's working. Okay, I was touching the wrong one. So let's pop down one more pin now that we know that's working. And we'll go down the one more. So we should have 5 volts here now. I was just grounding to the wrong spot. Look at that. There we go, 4.94. See, shows what I know or don't know. 4.94. So we're good. So we have voltage coming out of that. 5, that's close enough to 5 for me. Okay, so we'll pop that off. No smoke. And I just realized that this one screw is a little loose. I'm just going to tighten this one very carefully. Let's tighten this up. And this one here, yeah, we're good. Okay. Okay, so we're good with 5 volts there. Let's pop this off. Put you away. Now we can go ahead and plug in our 5 volt plug here. I don't think there's a problem with plugging it in live, but hey, 5 volts, there we go. And there we go. So we have our 5 volts. So now we should have power to the tap. So I'm just going to tuck this away a little bit. I should have thought of that before. I will just come in up here. We're gonna neaten all this up eventually. We'll come in down here. We'll come in through this raceway and pop that out through here. like so. Oh, we'll fix that up a little better later. And then this other ZN stop, I'm just going to leave hanging there. It's not going to hurt anything. Actually, maybe I'll just bring it down and just tuck it in out of the way here. We'll leave that wired up just in case if I ever want to go back to that ZN stop. So here we go. There we go. So we should be fine. We're on the same signal as we were for the other ZN stop. We have power to it. If I stand this up, okay. Now, how do I test it? If I lift up, is there a, okay, now I guess now I do software. Because I thought, is there a light or something on the, so when it's triggered, it sees it. I don't know. AC ground should be earth. Oh, okay. Okie doke. Shows what I know about electronics. I always thought it was just black and red, power and ground, and earth never meant anything to me. I thought earth and ground were the same thing, which theoretically they probably are, but the fact that we have separate earth and ground wiring is a whole different thing. Light should go off. What light? Should there be a light on here somewhere? Is there a light on the actual? It's hard to see. There is the, I see the sensor. I see the, but I don't see a light. Huh. So when you lift it, is it lifting high enough? When you lift it, it actually allows that light, the optical sensor. You lift the head, the optical sensor becomes open. You drop the head, the optical sensor closes. On the PCB version, there is a light. This is the PCB. I don't see a light. Huh. Now, I wonder if I should check and make sure there's voltage getting to that PCB. I can easily just touch, because the middle one is the signal. Left one's the ground. Let me just make sure I can ground to... Oh, yeah, I can check these ones because the ground is far enough away from the... the ground is far enough away from the red that if I touch them together, I'm an idiot. Okay, so let's just see. Behind the tool head, but check in your machine settings and check the end stops. Oh, in the machine settings and check my end stop. Oh, true. Makes sense. Okay. I see what you're saying. Let me go into 110.0. Where's my keyboard there? 10.0.0.178. Okay, so let me go to my machine end stops. Come on, machine end stops. Reconfigure. Okay, so end stop Z is triggered. Probe is triggered. Of course, the probe is triggered because I still have the probe hooked up. Okay, so now let's just do this. So if I lift up, I gotta lift up with this, refresh the end stops, and it's still triggered. Let's see. Still showing as triggered. So it's not doing anything. So something's not working. So let me check, make sure I've got the voltage coming up, that it's actually signals getting up, that I haven't screwed something up in the wiring. So I'll double check that. Okay, so we're there. So we should be able to get, actually I can't necessarily leave that on camera. I'm just going to check this here. Change the probe settings to that virtual, oh, okay. To that pin and virtual Z. I thought it should be, oh, the probe. Oh, well, now should, But shouldn't it still be triggering for the ZN stop? I'm going to, let me just check. Let me check and make sure my voltages are okay. That I'm getting power to the PCB up here. There's the ground. Okay, yeah, I've got 5 volts. So we got 5 volts going into the probe. So we have 5 volts going into the probe. That is not a problem. And look at that, I didn't cause any smoke. ZN stop virtual ZN probe will be the ZN stop pin in using for your signal. Okay, well, let's go here. Let's share the display here. Let's go into the printer config. And let's find that area. So I want, oh, come on. Oh, piece of belt. Okay. So let's first of all find what we're looking for here. So I'm looking for the ZN stop virtual Z. So let me just Command F. Virtual SD card. Oh, that's the only one Z. I want ZN stop. Okay. XY. Oh, I don't need that. What am I doing? I just need to look for my Z stepper settings, Z stepper pin. Okay, hang on a minute. Where am I looking? Where am I looking? Probe. Okay, there's our probe. Okay, so our probe is set for PG15 for the pin. Okay, so let's just see. So the pin on this one should be, what did I say? I said J31, and that was PG10. So I need to change my probe to PG10 because it was on PG15, and PG15 is, yeah, I don't have, I should have had the machine turned over, but PG15 is on J34, which is way over here. Okay, so I'm on J31, and we want PG10 for the probe. So we got to change the probe to PG10. And then we need to look for end stop. Let's go do a search. End stop. And we did a search for end stop here. Okay. Idle timeout, Z end stop switch. Okay, that's. I know we got to change something down here. Let's just find the first one here, though. ZN stop location, that's all commented out. There we are right there. Okay, oh no, this is the XY stepper settings. Okay. Stepper Y. Stepper Z. There, PG10. So we already are set on PG10 for the Z stepper, because that's where the old Z probe came in for the ZN stop. So that's the ZN stop PG10. So we are on PG10. We changed the probe to PG10 because it's going to be the probe and the end stop. Okay, and I think, and then the document, and I think that's those two next ones. Now the document I was looking at is this guy right here. Doop. Get in there. So this, what this is telling me is to update your ZN stop. So under the stepper Z, block, yeah, You'll want to comment out your position end stop and change your end stop pin so that it uses the virtual Z end stop for tap. Okay, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, so let's just see. The LED on the PCB is lit in normal state, off when I lift the head. I have a feeling that it might not be coming down far enough. I don't know. It could just be, although it's coming down, the magnets are released. Or are they? Yeah. Anyways, okay, something's wrong. Let's see. So no, virtual for the pin instead. Okay, so let's go back and change something that let's just close this and not save. Let's go back into it, make sure I don't do anything wrong. I should actually, what I should be doing is following these instructions right here. So it wants me to comment out my position end stop and change my end stop pin so that it uses the virtual Z end stop for tap. Okay. Okay. So let's copy this so I know what we're doing. So copy. So under stepper Z, comment out position end stop. So stepper Z. This is a stepper Z right here. End stop. We'll find it here. So I want to make sure I do the right thing. Comment out your position end stop. Position min. No, sorry. I just saw it. That's the end stop pin. We need position end stop. Okay, let me search for it. See the example. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, I know you guys got me. I'm example end stop pin. Yeah, exactly. And oh, I see end stop pin. Oh. So right up here, where'd my Z go? Am I under my Z? End stop pin. There we go. Enable pin, direction pin, step pin, end stop pin. Right there, we want to put in probe Z virtual end stop. Oh no, virtual end stop. Hang on. Probe Z virtual end stop. There we are. Yeah, okay. So that's what we want to do there. See, got it. Oh Lord, the end stop coordinates you comment out, then the safe Z homing is the center of the bed, if that helps. Okay, fair enough. I know it's painful watching me. It really is. I end up getting there. Position end stop. Okay, so I got to find my position end stop. I'm just going to find that, and it's probably right in front of me, but I'm still going to do a search. Okay. Okay, so not there. So it's the one. So I think I was right up there. Position end stop. Now, is this the one I comment out? Position end stop right there. So this is the one I have to comment out, correct? Yes. Okay. And I believe that is, I don't even remember the command. It's Alt Control slash. Look at that, Control slash. So we comment out position end stop. Okay. See, I told you I'd get there eventually. And we've already changed the end stop pin to probe Z virtual. Okay, be sure to also remove any automatically saved stepper Z position end stop value that may be found at the bottom of your printer config file. So it says also remove any automatically saved stepper Z position end stop. You've read all the config on them. Yeah, I'm slow, but guys, I eventually get there. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the bottom where the automatically saved ones are, which is right down very bottom, below all this. There we are. So position end stop. We want to get rid of this. Now, can I comment this out, or do I actually have to delete it? It did say delete, I believe. Let's just see. And automatically save value may be found, or remove. So remove. So we've got to remove this. Remove. Just remove that line altogether. Oops. There we go. It's further down. No, this is the bottom. This is the automatic save configs. This is what it's telling me to do. It says, be sure to remove any automatically saved step or Z position end stop value that may be found at the bottom of your printer config file. Even though they look like they're commented out, these are the automatically saved and configured ones. So these are the ones that it's telling me to get rid of. Or am I wrong? This is well, I can always put it back. Yeah, delete it. Yeah, I can always find it and put it back. That's not hard to put back. Plus, it's going to be an automatic. It'll put it back automatically if I ever have to go back. But that's, I'm sure, what it asked me to do is to get rid of. Specifically, it said to get rid of stepper Z position end stop. Basically, get rid of that, which is what we just did. Okay. Update your Z homing position. If you're using safe Z, change the location of the center of the bed. If you have homing override, make sure it moves the tool head to the center of the bed before calling G28Z. Okay, so if you use safe Z home, change the location of the center of the bed. Am I using safe Z home? I don't believe. Let's see. I don't think. There we are. There's safe Z home, and I'm not. It is commented out. So there is nothing set for safe Z home, so I'm obviously not using safe Z home. Okay. Update your probe's offsets. Remember, with tap, your nozzle is the probe. So your probe X offset and probe Y offset values should be 0 now. You'll need to manually calibrate the probe's Z offset by using probe calibrate. Okay, so let's do this. Probe offset X and probe offset Y should be 0. Okay, where are my probe's offsets? Okay, well, let's just see. Probe. I'm always of the school that if I screw up, it just won't work. Okay, there's my probe count. Probe points. Now it says probe offsets. Probe X offset and probe Y offset should be 0. Okay. 100, 120 is an example. Now, those are basically the middle of the bed. Should I be, these are the ones that they say should go to 0, my probe points. Because I don't see probe offset. Let's see. X offset, Y offset. Okay. Let me look. Let me look again. Search feature really helps. Okay, there's my probe. My X offset is 0. Here we are. So there's my probe. X offset 0, Y offset should be 0, is what it's telling me. Both values should be 0 now. Okay. So that's going to be 0. Go to the top of the file before searching. Yeah, it starts over at the top if I do. So that should be 0. That should be 0. Okay, so those are both 0. X and Y offsets are 0 for the probe offsets. And what's next? And then you'll need to manually calibrate the probe Z offset by using probe calibrate. Okay, fair enough. So right now, let's just, while I've got this, let's save. Oops, let's save and close. Okay, and let's go back in. And let's see what we got to do next here. Add taps, activate G-code. This G-code will allow you to probe cold, but will also prevent you from probing with a nozzle at printing temperature to try to preserve your build surface. This goes in the probe section in your config. Okay, so I can copy this, and it goes to the probe section of my config, which was way down probe. So I can put this anywhere in the probe section. So let's go ahead and just pop this in here and paste. So that goes in here. Okay, so we can back that out. There we go. So there's that into the probe section. Yep. Clipper searches from a current cursor position. Yeah, but then what'll happen is it's basically it's the browser find feature that's finding the words, and once it hits the bottom of the Clipper config file, it'll then start over at the top. Because yeah, but I see what you're saying there. So okay, so we've got the activate G code macro in here. So I don't think I have to touch anything in this. I should not have to. So let's save and close that, and let's see what else we got to do here. Well, that's it. So we're at the end. Now, the only thing it says to do is to use the probe calibrate command. But with that said, okay, let's do a save and restart then. Well, let's just do a restart. Am I restarting firmware, restarting Clipper, restart? Oh, we'll just do a restart. Okay, so now we have errors. So position end stop in section stepper Y must be specified. Position end stop in section stepper Y. Did I screw that up? Printer config, stepper Y. Okay, stepper X, stepper Y, position end stop, position min 0, position max 250. What's the error? Position end stop must be defined in section stepper Y. Min position 0, max position 250. Stepper Y. I'm not seeing. Let's just see that error again. Position end stop in section stepper Y must be specified. Position end stop. Oh, I love this stuff. Printer config. Let's go Command F, position end stop. Do a search. This is stepper X. Stepper Y, position end stop is defined. So what is the error? Position max. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Okay, I think I see. So it's saying So position end stop is not defined. I deleted the wrong position end stop. Did I? See position end stop on stepper Z. I think I deleted the one on stepper Z. Stepper Z. I comment. Okay, stepper Z, position end stop. I wouldn't have deleted this one. I would have I would have commented this one out. But it looks like what it's looking for is this position end stop line right there for stepper Y. I mean, if I uncomment this one, it would probably get rid of that error, but do I want that? Position end stop 250, position max 250. Did I delete one out of stepper Y? Or I probably commented this out. Okay, well, then fine. Let's see if that resolves the error. Maybe I did inadvertently comment that one out. Virtual end stop for Z is not supported for Z calibration. Okay, virtual end stop for Z is not supported for Z calibration. Okay, love this. This is like, okay, it's like a mystery. So Z calibration. So we actually have a Z calibration. See where our Z calibration settings are at. So there's no Z calibration. I think that is actually a let's go. Virtual end stop for Z is not supported for Z calibration. So the Z calibration, we do have a auto config Z, which, yeah, no, it shouldn't have anything to do with auto, or does it? Hang on a minute. Okay. End stop pin probe Z. End stop pin probe Z virtual end stop. Sure, I did that. Let's just check. Printer config end stop Z, and where's our Z? Yeah, we did that right here. End stop pin probe Z virtual end stop under stepper Z. So we have that. That is in there. So the end stop pin probe Z virtual end stop. So let's see. After you run Z end stop calibrate, position end stop will be stored at the very end of the config. Okay. But yet it's saying that that is not supported for Z calibration. Just make sure I did everything, that I didn't skip a step here. Oh, because something to do with the clicky probe. I wonder. Oh, I'll bet. Okay. I will bet you any money that it's something to do with the clicky probe config file, because we're not using a clicky probe anymore. So we're going to want to get rid of the clicky probe config. Z calibration. There's no Z calibration setting in here. It's coming from the clicky probe config. I'm going to guess. Let's just see. We'll save and close for now. And if I go up here to the clicky probe config, it was going clicky macro, clicky probe. Because Z calibration, oops, what did I just do? Control F, Z calibration. There's no Z calibration section in here. Okay, so we don't have that. Now, just reading you guys' comments too. Use Z safe homing and get rid of the virtual end stop maybe. No, I think it was to do with the, let's just save and restart here. Let's just see. I think it was to do with the fact that it was looking for the clicky probe and it was doing a Z calibration with the clicky probe. Printer is not ready. Clicky software is ending restart. Okay, virtual end stop. Okay, it was not supported for Z calibration. And get rid of the virtual end stop maybe, although that's what they tell me to use here, right here, probe Z virtual end stop. I'm just going by the Clipper instructions. So something, I'll bet it's something to do. Oh, I wonder if it's, I wonder in the macros, although it shouldn't. So we have calibrate Z. No, that should not change because we're still going to be calibrating Z. No. I knew I would leave that the way it is. I'm definitely going with this, with what they say to do here, which I've done, but I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything. So the error we're getting here is something to do with Z calibration. And it's saying that it's not compatible. It's basically saying it's not supported for Z calibration. Virtual probe, virtual end stop for Z is not supported for Z calibration. So once the underlying, now it's not really telling me much about how to fix that. Do I have an auto Z? Do I have an auto Z? Auto Z config. Oh, I do, right there. So I have an auto Z config file. So does that mean basically I need to comment out my auto Z config? What's in my auto Z config? Let's go back. Auto Z config. Z calibration. There we are right there. So I've got to comment out the auto Z config because it's talking about the probe. There we go. Attach probe, dock probe. Okay. So there's where it's coming up with the errors. I've got to comment out the auto Z config. Correct. That goes away. Boom. Okay. Man, so much stuff to change for the tap. Now we should have no errors, right? 0 errors. Come on. Come on. There we go. No errors. Except now under machine. Oh, I have an update. Oh, look at all these updates I've got to do. Holy crap. Under end stops. Okay, triggered and triggered. But if I so should this not go away when I lift? When I lift the hot end, should that triggered signal not go away? It should go away. Yeah. So obviously something is, because actually if I just go ahead and let me just move this over here. There you go. now if you'll see, so basically, okay, I'm refreshing, boom. I'm lifting up on the print head as far as it'll go. Now I'm hitting refresh and it still stays triggered. Let go of the print head, still stays triggered. So something is going on, correct? Correct. So that is not right. Because what's going to happen is that's just going to keep crashing into the bed and it's not going to be triggering the, shouldn't it say open right now? Because when I trigger all the other end stops, triggered, open. And then if I trigger my Z or my X and Y, they're both triggered and then they're open. So something is not correct. Hey, Will. Yeah, I'm not, yeah, so something's not going in my head. I'm getting 5 volts to the tap. We checked that. We're getting 5 volts in there. So we're getting a signal, but I'm not seeing a light on it. We are getting 5 volts. I do have it plugged in on the bottom to the right pin. We're plugged into the right pin, but we're not showing it as signaled. So I don't know if it's a problem. It could be that the LED on the sensor is shining through the flag. I have seen that before. But either way, when I lift up on that to trigger the probe, it should showing as triggered, and it's not, or as open. It should be showing as open right now, should it not? Open in normal head position. Okay. Yeah, and it's not. Right now it's not. It's in normal head position and it's triggered. So I wonder, I thought when I look at it on the side, it does look like that is up pretty high in there. I don't know. Put your test meter on the output signal wire and check for voltage when triggered and not. If the light is shining through the flag, it will never trigger. I don't see any light shining through any. I don't see a light, period. Okay. Okay, here we go. So if I pull down on my head a little bit, let's see. Is this side? If I pull down on my head, I'm seeing a light. If I pull down, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Here, let's just let's bring this camera close. Actually, let's give you guys a little better view here. So I'm just gonna show you what's happening. Obviously, there's something in this I've got to take apart and fix, because if we'll go to the floor camera here, watch when I pull down on the head. See the light? Okay, there we go. There's the light when I pull down on the head. So that should be on when the head's in resting position, I assume. So yeah. So so yeah, that, so if there's no light at all, but if I yank down on the head, there's the light. It's sitting too high. Okay. It is sitting too high. Yay! Nothing goes easy for me. That's okay though. So it means I got to take this apart and figure out what's going on. And I don't think unless I adjust the, I wonder if the magnets are causing it. No. Why would that be sitting too high? I can't think of why, because it's all put together right. If it were easy, you could do it. Oh, lordy lord. Okay, well, let's take some stuff apart here. Let's figure out what's going on. I don't think, let me just, don't think these magnets are there in order to hold it down in the proper position. I don't think adjusting those is going to do anything. No, because those are just going to see, just for fun. Ah, there we go. I loosen this magnet off. Now if I tighten it, okay, there we go. I need a different, I loosened the one magnet and it dropped. Obviously, when I did the magnets the other day, it didn't drop far enough. That was 2 millimeter. So now we have a permanent light on. I don't know if you can see it through there. So the magnet was, I had not loosened it enough. This side, I think we're okay. There we go. So if I snug that up now, okay, there we go. Didn't have to tear it apart. See, I thought of something. I mean, I got half a brain in here at least, because I thought, let's check these magnets. So now there we have a light on. But now if I refresh, so this should show as open when I refresh now, but it's showing as triggered. Is that right, or is that, or does it matter? Should this be showing anything here, or am I not even worrying about this? As long as I see that light. You know what I mean? Or is that end stop triggered? Is that showing my old Z end stop? Is that why? Because this is the probe versus the end stop. Oh, because we're using a virtual end stop, right? I don't, yeah. Triggered should be right. Invert in config. Invert what? So triggered. So you're saying, Tom Taylor, you're saying when this is the light is on, it should be showing as triggered. But my concern is that it's saying triggered no matter which position I put the head, up or down. Yours shows triggered when extended. Okay, and now when you lift the head, when it lifts, so when I lift it now and refresh, it's still showing triggered. So I wonder if I have it plugged into the right signal port. Because I don't want to try and home Z, because of course, if it's not showing it as, if it's not working, it'll want to drill a hole through the bed. Okay, so we got the light figured out. It's just the signal is not going to Clipper. So the signal's not going to Clipper in the printer config. Let's go back to the printer config. Let's look at the Z probe. Under Z. So we have end stop pin is probe Z virtual end stop. Okay. Stepper Z, enable pin. Signal port doesn't seem right. Yeah, exactly. Triggered when lift, open when down. Triggered when lift, open when down. So it's opposite. Yeah, and you would think, because all the other end stops, even though they're mechanical end stops and not optical, all the mechanical end stops are open right now. They're not triggered. So it makes sense that it should be triggered when it hits the bed, it triggers the end stop, and when it lifts, it opens the end stop. But what? So let me just have a quick look here. So the probe section should be boom, boom, boom. Now I wonder if see in the probe section, I've got the probe as pin PG15. Now I don't know if I need to be changing the probe. Because we are plugged in, the tap is plugged into PG10, I think. Let me just double check to make sure. J31, yeah, we're plugged into PG10 on the tap. Is virtual end stop defined in the clicky config? We've gotten rid of the clicky config. We're ignoring clicky config because we're not using clicky. My question is, should this probe pin be changed to the PG10 where the tap is plugged in? Yep, your tap is the probe. Okay, so let's change this pin right here to PG10 since we are the probe. Okay, and that's under, so let's do that. Let's save and restart. Let's just see. That's my guess is it's something to do with being in the wrong. See, we get an error when we start up. We should start fine. Here we go. Let's go back to machine. Let's go down. Let's refresh the ends. There we go. Look at that. They're all open. Okay, that was it. So now if I lift up on the head, okay, our Z end stop and probe are triggered. If I let it go, they're open. If I lift it up, they're triggered. There we go. That's what it was. I had the wrong pin set in the probe section. So I just had to get to the right probe or the right pin. And let's try once more. Head is lifted. They're triggered. Head is down. They're open. I think we're good. See, I told you guys, I'm a little slow up here sometimes, but I will eventually get there. Hey, Maker Viking. Okay, so. Okay, trying home. Try a home. Seriously, you want me to try homing? I'm so nervous. Let me get rid of this PTFE. Oh, do I dare? Okay, let's see what happens. See if it stops when you lift it. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay, well, let's try it. So we'll do home, all. Okay, let's try it. And I'll lift it before we have a chance for the bed to hit it. It does. It stopped. Okay, so let's try it again. Let's let the bed hit. Is it going to hit the bed? No, it's not hitting the bed. Right now, in the position it's in, the nozzle is off the bed. So I need to change my homing position. I need to change my homing position. So it's working. Let's lower my Z. No, I can't do that right now. No, so I've got to change. Okay, I got to figure out in there, so there's got to be something in the printer config as to where the Z homes. Okay. Okay, which is okay. I mean, we're making progress. Home. Let's see. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to find. I thought we turned off Safe Z homing. But can I not tell it where to home? In other words, because it's going back, it's hitting the X end stop, hitting the Y end stop, but the nozzle, if I let it go, it's off the bed. Or do I have to physically move my bed back? No, I can't do that. home XY position, 175, 175. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look. Under homing, define it under safe Z home. Okay, define safe Z homes. But safe Z home, they told me to disable. Let's just see here. If you use safe Z home, change the location of the center to the center of the bed. Okay, so I need to enable safe Z home and change the location to the center of the bed. So we need to move this. We need to home to the center of the bed. Okay. Okay, so let's find safe Z homing. Okay, 50 XY stepper settings, Z stepper. It's easier if I just go safe and find it. Safe Z home. Okay, so home XY position, just offset the X plus 10 or to the size of your bed. Yours is 350. Define it under safe Z, home XY position 175, 175. Okay, so right now that is, so I have to basically uncomment safe Z homing. And then I want, okay, so I want home XY position 148, 250. So I want home XY in the middle of the bed. Is that, hey, Snapshot. Snapshot, it was you. Sorry, I forgot. Snapshot FPV is the guy that told me, he's the one that told me about the shrink wrap tubing to pull the belts through. Anyways, okay, so we've got safe Z home set. Now, I want to, so if I'm a 250, do I want to change my home XY position to 125, 125? And is that going to then home Z to the middle of the bed? Is that correct? So if I uncomment this, and XY position then is going to be 125, 125. Is that correct? Speed 50, I guess that's fine. And then we want a Z hop, of course. So we want to uncomment that. And then we want to uncomment this. I would think yeah, and the 200, yeah. Okay, so those so that should theoretically, so it's going to go back and hit my Z end stop, or sorry, it's going to hit my X end stop, go back, hit the Y end stop, move to the middle of the bed, and then home Z. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Home X and Y and JAG, you're the tool head to the center of the record location main set. Okay. Okay, let's save and close, save and restart. Now, just the fact that I'm really close up there, I'm going to take that chance it's going to work, but I'm going to be very, very quick on this. So let's see. Also need to update the probe XY offsets. Okay, let's get the homing done. Okay, there we go. We're moving to the middle of the bed. Perfect. It worked. We homed successfully. Let's do that once more because it was so fun to watch. We go to the X. We go to the Y. We go to the middle of the bed. That's really slow. I got to speed that up. And then we hit the tap. And there we go. We did it. Okay, so we got that done. Now, Fadeon is saying also need to update the probe XY offsets. Let's go in and have a look. Printer config. Probe. I just like finding probe real easy. Boom, 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 boom. Z stepper. There we are. There's our probe. PG10. Well, the probe, oh, right here, X offset Y offset. Okay, the probe is 0. X offset is 0. Y offset is 0. So those are done. Those are done. Now your probe calibrate 100 times. Now you probe calibrate 100 times. Let me go up and I want to change that. I want to change the speed on this just a little bit. That doesn't matter. I'm not. It's what am I going to say? 3 seconds? Forget it. Where's my probe? So now do the probe calibrate. Okay, probe calibrate. Okay, so we will save and close. Probe calibrate is what you're saying. So probe underscore calibrate. What's that going to do for me? Here we go. We home Z. Oh, come on. Get off my face, you dumb camera. We're not interested in me. We're interested in this. Okay, there's the probe calibrate. So now we have to do the, okay, so this is our paper test, basically. Okay. Our paper test. Okay. Probe calibrate 100? Seriously? Okay, let's abort. Oh, well, okay, let's abort. So probe calibrate 100. Or are you guys pulling my leg? Unknown command, probe calibrate 100. Okay, or do I have to have an underscore on that? Here, I'll tell you what I'm doing here. So probe, so we do this, although do I have to have like an underscore here? Is that what you're saying? Unknown command. Underscore, yeah. Probe calibrate underscore 100. Does not understand the command probe calibrate underscore 100. Why doesn't it understand that? Let's see. Does it tell me here? Here it says to do probe calibrate. So what's going? It should be a macro. Probe accuracy. It should be a macro. Probe accuracy. Oh, okay. $100? Or just probe. Here we go. There it goes. Now it's doing whatever this 100-time thing is. Oh, it just did it 6 or 7 times. Probe accuracy. Maximum point. Here, there's the results here. Minimum range 0.000625, average 0.01, median 0.01, standard deviation 0.000286. Why did it not give me those instructions in here? See, if it wasn't for you guys in here, I wouldn't be doing this, but you guys seem to know what you're doing more than I do. Probe accuracy, samples 100. Okay, probe accuracy. Samples 100. No. Malformed command. No. Oh. Correct spelling, of course. Probe, PROBE, underscore accuracy. underscore samples 100. This is fun. Accuracy space samples 100. Nope. Probe. Oh, equals. Okay, so we up arrow accuracy samples equals 100. Well, I'll be. There we go. Why didn't you say so in the first place? It's all good. It's all good, guys. So it's going to basically probe this 100 times to get accuracy of the probe. Cool. Okay. I didn't know there was this much involved in it, but hey, what the heck? Typing what, no voice control on that ship. I keep forgetting to hit the up arrow to fill it in, and then just, yeah. Anyways, we're learning, you know. There's so much to learn in Clipper. And then I go ahead and, you know, Zach goes ahead and throws me a tap. Hey, Andrew Humphrey, you can do it with any probe. Okay, cool. You know, Zach, I blame you for this because, you know, I had to put the tap on, and the tap is, I just got used to learning the clicky probe. Okay. I just got the hang of the clicky probe, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, here, throw a tap on. And you know that I'm going to end up putting a tap on the 2.4. I mean, if I like this as much as I think I'm going to like it, but at least I'll know kind of what to go through on this. I could actually just keep this. There we go. Okay, so here's our results. We have a maximum 0.011, minimum 0.015, range is 003, average 013, median 013, standard deviation is 000754. I assume that's good. You don't want to be probed, Andrew? 3D experiments I don't need a beacon on this. I can find it in the darkest of nights. Okay, now that I've done probe accuracy, now do I want to do my Z offset? Now do I want to do my probe calibrate? I think I want to do the probe calibrate now, right? Now I want to do the paper test because I need the probe needs to know where my, or I don't know. Because now this is where 0.7 of a thousandths of an inch. So that's good. That means it's pretty accurate, that the probe is accurate to within that much. You just don't trust with 3D Canada. Oh yeah, I'll tune it using the ADXL. I've got the ADXL. I got the ADXL hooked up, and right here I'll once because the head has sort of all been rebuilt, and then I'm also going to be putting on, for those of you that saw it, I'm going to be putting on a new funky face for the for my stealth burner. So that is going to be the new look of it when all is said and done. Kind of goes with the overall theme of the build. I was going to put like all 6 or 7 colors in it, but I only have 4 colors on my AMS. So I decided to go with 3 of them. So. Oh yeah, I want to do it at bed temp. Yeah. Yeah, I printed this on the bamboo. I wanted to try the AMS in the bamboo. So I went in and I did the painting, and I just did the triangles rather than do my custom paint job on it. So I just did this on the bamboo paint. It didn't even go right through. It just did the surface. Painted it with triangles, printed it overnight. It was a 4-hour print. Worked out really well. I kind of like it. Zach, stop it. Jeez, just when I think. Yeah, that might be Jack Black. That might be thousandths of millimeters because this measures millimeters, doesn't it? So 0.000754 millimeters. That's even better. Oh, thanks, Teza. I'm glad that there's no pattern, no rhyme or reason to the colors. It's just the way it was. So we'll be tearing this one apart eventually. Yeah, you laugh it up, Zach. You laugh it up. It's all good. So, so let's heat up the bed a little bit here, and let's do the let's go ahead and do the probe calibrate, which is the paper test, I guess, because we need to know where our Z offset is. And then once that is set, then we should be good to give it a test. And then once everything is up and working, I can take off good old clicky. Anybody want to buy a clicky probe? So then because when I installed the and the other thing is the LED that's going to go in here is the rainbow barf. So it's ideal for the rainbow barf LED. I had a hard time with the rainbow barf on this one. I have a feeling anyways, that's going to go on there. Laugh it up, fuzzball. Exactly. You haven't touched your Z offset since the first sprint, but we got to set the probe calibrate now first though. So let's warm up the bed a little bit. I guess I could warm the bed and the nozzle a bit. And let's go. Let's warm the bed up and we'll do that. Also do a bed mesh. Oh, yes, yes, yes. We want to do Z-tilt is what we want to do. I should try Z-tilt right now. Is Z-tilt going to work? It should just work fine now, right? Shall I try it and just see? What the hell? Oh, extruder temperature target is too high, lowering to 150. Okay, so they're lowering the extruder temperature to 150 before it does the Z-tilt. Let's see. So there we go. Z-tilt. There we go. It's just weird seeing it thump the head like this. See the head go boom. It's just different. Did I remove the offset from print config? No, it should override it though when I do the offset, shouldn't it? Because it's gonna do the offset, then it's gonna do a save config. Oh, this is just I think this is because it's still not quite in tolerance. It's gonna do this a few times for the first go around here. 0.0125, tolerance is 0.007. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Jack. There we go. Our tolerance, our range is 0.0025, and our tolerance was 0.0075 for the Z-tilt. Okay, so let's home it. Okay, this is really freaking cool. Look at that. So now we've warmed up, so I can go ahead and do the probe calibrate. Let's do a probe calibrate. With the clicky, the probe is not where the nozzle is, so there is an offset. Yeah, well, the clicky has been totally disabled, so you don't want to probe with a tap higher than 50 to avoid damaging the PEI. Okay, so you mean as far as the nozzle temperature? Ooh, yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and lower that. I see where you're coming from with that. That's right, because that's why it said in the macro, it says the G code will allow you to probe cold, but will also prevent you from probing with a nozzle printing temperature to try and preserve your build surface. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Yes, I get that, Teza, now. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's already fixed. 150 is recommended. Yeah. Well, and this is, I'm not going to melt my surface there, but okay. Let's go ahead and let's do our probe config. Oops, was it probe config? I'm terrible at remembering the commands. Yeah, I think it was probe config. Oh, probe calibrate. Duh. Come on. Okay. Okay, so now I love the new, I love in this, you don't have to type anything. I love this whole thing right here that they've done in the middle here. That's changed this here. So now you don't have to go in and type all of your, you know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead. We're warmed up. We are going to drop -1, -1, -1. We are very close. -0.1, -0.1. Okay, okay, Zach. I will. Thank you. Stop making me spend money. Stop it. Have a good night. We'll see. We'll catch you on Sunday, if not sooner. Okay, -0.5, -0.5. Come on, are we even close? Yeah. Are you even moving? Why are you not moving? Do, do, do. Oh, okay, there we moved. Okay, we're too tight. And let's go down a little more. Okay, up a hair more. Oh, a little down, a little more. A little more. Oh, we're almost there. Oh, no, I think we're good. I think we are actually, we are not buckling the paper. I think we are perfect right there. There is our probe calibrate, and then we will accept. And then we will save config, and we will restart. And then we will home. Put your finger on the pulley and you can feel if it moves. Yeah, we're doing okay now. I think, what do you think? Should I do a little bit of a test print and see, just see how it works? Or is it going to do the bed mesh? The bed mesh, nothing should change. It should do the bed mesh fine. It's just using that as a probe now. I should be ready to print a test print. Do I have? Yeah, I can just print it, do a quick cube for a test print. Let's go ahead and load some filament. What do I have? Well, I got to take the filament out that's in it first. And then we'll load in some, let's see. Let's give it a, whoa, let's give it a taste of Mystic Green. Print the bad mesh. Print the bad mesh. Well, let's load the filament. We need filament to begin. So we'll print some Mystic Green. It's been sitting around forever. Then I really need to, hang on a minute. This is going to go better. Nah, this way. You just really twisted for some reason here. Oh, wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. Does this work? I don't know what you're thinking. Okay. Are you going to behave now or what? There you go. Did you add the active code info under the probe section? Let's check and see. Depends on the slicer. Without a bed mesh, and mine calls for it, mine will crash without it. I do have a bed mesh in the startup macro. Activate code under the probe section. Yes, active code. Let's just see. Under the probe section. Let's move me over to the other side of the screen here. That way it's a little easier to see what's going on here. Where's my probe? Macros, not probes. I passed the probe. Probe, activate G code. We did. Yeah, it's all right under here. That's been put in. So that is done. Let me take you down because I'm going to, let me load some filament and see what goes on. Oh man, this filament's brittle. It's been out of the bag for a while. Doesn't matter. It'll print. Okay, let's go ahead and lower my bed. And let's extrude some filament. Get the old stuff out of there. Come on, get out of there. There we go. Am I having real issues? Okay, and let's extrude another 50 millimeters. And then we should be good. Come on, get out of there. Now, the other thing is I'm going to need, because you want, obviously, this nozzle to be clean. Let's lower the temperature of the nozzle for now. Because you want the nozzle to be clean for probing. So I'm going to have to eventually possibly put in a nozzle wipe on this. Because, yeah, I'm seeping out. When you load the filament, you're seeping a bit. So we got to try and keep the nozzle clean. Because when it probes using the nozzle, if you have hardened filament in there, I can see that being an issue. So maybe, no, not maybe, I'll have to put a nozzle thing in here, and it shouldn't be any, the nozzle thing shouldn't be any more difficult to do than the clicky probe was. It should be very similar, as a matter of fact. It's just a macro that's going to tell it where to go. Mind you, I have a lot of things telling me where to go. You sent me a DM. Or DM, let me have a look. Probably a DM to warn me not to do something. Yeah, okay. Awesome, Zach. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to do a bed mesh. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm willing to take a chance. Our bed's to temperature. We're just going to lower our nozzle to 150.5, and then we're going to go ahead and see what happens. I'm a risk taker. That is not where you're supposed to go when I do that. You're supposed to actually go right to the printer, because the printer isn't the center of attention here, not me. So let's see what happens here. Let's zoom in a bit more. Why are you not zooming? I'm live. Oh, my camera's not responding. Oops. Stop that from turning. So we're doing our, oh, excuse me, pull up my pants. We're doing our Z-tilt adjustment right now. Mind you, I've got to do input shaper and yada yada yada, because especially because we changed the print head, we added the whole new tap mount and that. But I just want to see if everything's gonna go as planned. Let's just see what happens here. We're doing our Z calibrate. Now we're doing our bed mesh. Let's see. So the bed mesh is working. So it is going to do the bed mesh just fine. So here we go. For those of you that just joined us, we have activated the tap. We'll see if it works, and then we're going to put this funky thing on over the weekend. Doo-doo-doo. Now the next thing to figure out after all this is, here, I'll put that rate. There we go. Let's see how steady this thing is. The next thing to figure out after this is going to be why my LEDs aren't working. But I'm not going to worry about that till I replace the cover on the stealth burner. ERCF next, yeah? ERCF, East Coast Rep, no, ERCF. ERCF. I'm probably should know what that is, but I'm kind of not, you know what I mean. There's the old legacy stuff. There's the old hot end mount, which I just dropped a screw out of, and there's the old clicky probe mount. I mean, rest in peace, you guys. Although I should save it. Maybe Richard wants a clicky probe on his build. Oh, you guys want to see the poop? It's not as bad as I thought. This is the so from this stealth burner cover, that's the poop. That's the poop from it. So not bad, really. I don't have a scale or I could weigh it, but that's the that's bamboo poop from that print there. So not as bad as I thought it was. So okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to get to temperature. We're going to print. We're going to see what happens here. I will turn around now. And I'll throw my other camera on here so you can see it printing. Here we go. Let's do this. And we'll lower this a little bit because we're not all, there we go, something like that. There we go. We'll just see this printing. Poopy shoot. I got to print out a poop shoot for mine. So, enraged rabbit carrot feeder. Oh, is that the multicolor thing, Tessa? Is that multicolor Doomer thingy? Okay, well, we got filament out. Okay, we got a purge line. Yes. Let's see if we have a good first layer. Okay, let's just see. We're a little bit high. Oh, well, we're going to let it go. Who am I to judge? Worst case, I have to readjust my probe calibration, but I think we might be okay. Let's just see what happens. I should use a brighter color filament so it was easier to see, and I don't think it's actually focused right on the... There we go. That's focused pretty good right there. And we'll see how that first layer is going. Maybe a bit high. We may need a little more squish. It's hard to see on a print this small. And I'm not worried about this thing affecting maximum acceleration or anything like that, because really, this printer is not meant to be a speed demon printer. To me, the Voron it's about being a quality printer. That's easy to make all these changes like this, right? Like throwing a new probe on, just like boom. Okay, interesting. The open source AMS thingy, Enraged Rabbit. That'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll see. Right now, I got to watch the budget. So, yeah, this is printing good so far. We'll let this go for a little bit, and then we'll call it. I've been 2 hours, 2-hour live stream Friday night. You know, I didn't even clean my bed. I didn't even think to. Not the bed I sleep in, the printer bed. I think I probably already have all the parts needed. Possibly, yeah. I have a lot of spare parts, spare everything in this studio. It's crazy what I have. If anybody needs Creality parts, I doubt I'll ever have another Creality printer in here unless they send me one down the road someday. If they ever, feel the need that I could do anything. But I've got a crap load of spare Creality parts because I don't have any Creality printers anymore. I sold them all. Yeah, the next task will be getting those LEDs to work. So, use the Creality parts to build a Rook. Yeah, I should. I've got motors, I've got rails, I've got wheels, I've got, oh gosh, you name it. I got tons of parts. So far, looking good. But yeah, just imagine, okay, this on here now. Imagine this going on here. Oh, hang on. Imagine this. How cool that would look, just going on with all the colors. Very cool. Or a Mercury 1. There we go. Yeah, that's going to look great on there. I'm excited to put that on there. Do I have the ability, if I do this, no, this is running through the ATEM, so I can't do, if I do picture-in-picture on this, which one does it give me? It gives me, that one. I don't know, woo, weird. Good evening, Major Gamer Geek. Welcome, thank you. We have successfully got the tap going, the Voron TAP. Thank you so much to Zach Exalter for sending me the tap. That was very nice, and it's working. We printed the new parts, and we had a few struggles and issues along the way, mostly issues. But thanks to all you guys out there, we got those issues solved. It's a team effort. TAP is working good so far. We're doing our first test print on it. So this is the first test print, and it's just a quick Voron cube. Well, it's not a quick Voron cube, but we're going to let it go for another 10-15 minutes, and we'll see how it all looks. But I need to do input shaping again, and because of course we've made a major change to the hot end, so input shaping is going to be a must do again for sure. I'm not worried about the flow calibration or any of that because we haven't changed the extruder, haven't changed the hot end. Is tap easier than clicky? I would say yes, even though I struggled a little bit. Even though I struggled a little bit to get it going, and same with the clicky. When I first got the clicky probe, it's all in the configuration file and what you've got to do in Clipper in the config files. I struggled a bit with it, but I find overall with the clicky probe, you have to actually ensure that you're lined up for picking it up and dropping it off. You have to, it can be fussy as far as, your parts. If you have if you have a little crack in your part, which I've had in the past, it affects the clicky and how it works and everything. With the tap, once you get your parts printed and you get your head mounted and you have your magnets loosened properly off the way I didn't, then it's just a matter of configuring everything in the config files in Clipper, and I think it works great. It works really good. The one thing I think they need to mention in there is you guys had me do the that 100 calibration thing. That there was no mention of that in the actual documentation. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm not. Yeah. The hardest part was getting Clipper set up properly. It is, but once you do it, it's like as I say with the clicky probe. I've done it 3 times now. And it's like when I first learned Clipper, it was really hard. But this is the 4th Voron, it's actually the 5th printer with Clipper, and I'm getting a little bit more well-versed at Clipper. But when it comes to adding on all these little add-ons like the clicky probe, the tap, the LEDs, blah, 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 you just have to learn all those different config files. And then you got your macros, which is, now that I got my start macro and my end, anyways, I'm fine with that. For sure. You hope to spend some time getting this color from high quality at a high speed. I'm going to spend the time getting the quality for sure. I'm not overly concerned about the high speed because really, when you think about it, you can only do so much with the fans, with the cooling fans that are in it as far as speed goes. But it's faster than your normal bed slinger. Yes, it is. Do I want it to go as fast as the Bamboo? No, I just don't think that's realistic. So don't think that's realistic. But yeah, set up and configure. Once you get used to it, yes. I could probably do, when I do the tap on the 2.4 over here, I will probably have a much easier time because now I know some stuff that wasn't quite documented now, and I'm going to end up coming back and looking at this video to find some of the actual input commands to do for it because I just can't remember all the commands myself. I really need to be writing them down, which is what I should have done tonight as we're going. I should be in my notebook writing down exactly which commands are which. So you had to fix Clipper issues on your KP3S, had to recompile the MCU firmware this evening. Okay. Yeah. I got a bunch of updates. I've got, if I go over here under machine, it looks like I've got 1, 2, I don't know why it says invalid, main sale config invalid. Anyways, I'll look at that. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 updates. And I'm always gun shy about doing the updates. But I'll have to do it because when I redo the rat rig, I'm gonna upgrade all the Clipper software and everything because with the rat rig, I did an update one time. This is long ago before I knew much about Clipper. And it kind of it crashed everything. The updates made stuff stop working, but I think I could handle that now. So Yeah, within reason. Yeah. Bamboo's good for printing, not tinkering. Exactly. You did the updates last week and had to fix config and then run then MCU. Yeah, and that happens. But now I know how to do that. I know how to fix the MCU. I know how to get into the Pi and how to do all that stuff now. It's the more you do stuff, the more you do stuff, the easier it is to do the next time. So I'm so much more comfortable with building a printer now. I'm so much more comfortable with the pins on a main board and how to configure a main board. Like when I first started my first build on the rat rig, I was like, what's going on? So yeah, some of your updates made your setup stop working. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to do the updates. I'm not worried about that. I'm just not going to do them tonight. I need to kind of be a little wider awake. How are we doing on the print here? We're coming along. It's actually looking really good. Let me zoom in a bit. Let me zoom. Let's turn a light on this. Let's turn my. Or that'll help you see it easier. And I don't have my LEDs on the printer on full strength. Can we get in a little further here? Let's just see how tight I can get you guys in here. Unfortunately, I don't have any nozzle lights on this because we're having issues with the LEDs on this thing right now. But that print is looking really good so far. Let me see if I can throw a little light on the situation for you here. Hang on, let's see. There we go. I mean, that's oops. Can I stand that up right here? And will that work? That'll work right there if I leave that light right there. That's a nice, good-looking flat surface. Corners I've got to look at. We may have to readjust the something in there, or just do some more tuning. But hey, that looks really good. I'm surprised considering I haven't done the input shaping again. How well that is looking. I don't see any ghosting, nothing yet. Mind you, we got to get up to the letters and stuff. So, but let's see, how do the sides look? Oops, turn it around. Oh, let's turn it around to this side underneath and see. Hard to see that side. It looks like there's a little bit of ghosting, a little bit of I don't know, ghosting, ringing, whatever you want to call it, on that side. And then on this side, now we'll just concentrate on the front for now. There we go. And if I hold the light at different angles, because you get different angles on the filament, it still looks good either way. Now this is looking right there. You can see the layer lines. The things are not looking bad. That's Prusament Galaxy Green, Galaxy something filament, if you're wondering. Mystic Green, sorry, PLA Mystic Green. Slight ringing, yeah, I saw some slight ringing on the side, but that's a matter of getting input shaper all set up and possibly maybe redoing my flow calibration. Although that shouldn't change. It's just probably mostly input shaper. I gotta do another input shaper on it. So yeah. Looks gray, not green. Yeah. It's Mystic Green is a darkish green. It's hard to yeah, it looks, you see a bit of green there. But it's not a very bright green. It's Mystic Green is almost like a brownish, grayish green. Anyone have suggestions for good NCC 1701D models? I don't. I haven't seen any good enterprise models. So I'm not sure. Maybe Captain Kirk would know. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Well, let's speed this up a little bit. Good color to see detail. Yeah, it is, isn't it? And that side looks really, really clean right now. Well, let's speed it up a bit and see if I can kill the quality. Let's double the speed. Not that that'll make much difference on a cube this big, but there we go. Speed it up a bit. Misty green. Misty. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a 3D modeler. Captain, we can't do it. We cannot do a 3D model of the Enterprise. Scotty just used a replicator. That is illogical. I'm just curious about something here. It's looking good, Golden Jaguar. Is it not, man? Yes. Looking very good, man. Yeah, I can do this, and I can go boom. Oh, there I am. Hi. But we'll move myself down out of the way. Here, what if I put myself right there? How's that? Hi. Oops. Sorry. Come on. And get my face out of there. Oh, no, wrong. Okay, come on. First time using OBS, Tim? Yeah. There we go. Covering eyes. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's see. I think there is some ghosting on the other side, or ringing. Ghosting, ringing. Woo, spooky. Let's have a look. See if I can see it. Hard to see. I'm not focused on it. Let's see if I put that. I'll put you here. No, don't do that. You're going to touch the belts. I'll put you there. And if I focus on that a little better. Oh, there's a little bit of ringing there I can see on the Y. Yeah. Move back, head. Move back. Come on, over this way. Oh, no, over this way. There we go. Yeah, there's a little bit of ringing happening, I think. Not bad, though. And it could be the way the light's hitting it, too, because if we turn, and if we turn this way, then we get in the way of the, yeah. But it's still looking very clean. I mean, overall, as far as the layer lines go. Huh. Back to the front. And you're out of focus again, and you are in focus again. Yeah, Input Shaper is going to clean that up a little bit. Very little ringing there. I'm surprised considering the big change, the very big change to the hot end. The setting to smooth the corners. That's oh crap. You're catching me too late on a Friday night. I know what you mean, though. Yeah, I changed the belts and the tension. Absolutely, yeah. I think the belts are actually a little tighter than they were before. The corners are shoot. It's the acceleration thing. Frig, what's that test called? Pressure advance. Thank you, Golden Jaguar. It's a pressure advance for the corners. just I'm having a brain fart. It's that Andrew Ellis test I did, the pressure advance. He's got a new one, which is a really cool test. But I could do a pressure advance test. We'll see. Yeah, I think that is what looks like ringing as well. And again, depending on how the light is hitting it, right? If I bring this light over from this side, it looks even worse. So if I bring that light over there, it looks even worse. It's the way the shadows are hitting it. If I put the light over this way, like right there, it doesn't look so bad. It doesn't look as bad right there. And right there, again, look at those shadows hitting it, right? So it all depends on how the light's hitting it. Really, it's going to be hard to tell until I actually pop this off and have a look at the actual finished print. And I sped it up, and it's still maintaining the nice looking quality. Even speeding it up, I've sped it up to 200%. Mind you, it's just a small cube. It's not going to, you know. If your Ender 5 printed this good, you wouldn't be converting it to a Mercury 11.1. Wow. I swear, I think this is printing better than it did before. That's saying something too. Let's see. .1. Yeah, that's right there. You can kind of see the layer lines a little bit. Right there. Nice clean. What if I turn up my case lights too? My case lights, I think, are only at 10%. Yeah, they're only at 10%. Let's turn that right up and see. Oh, that brightens it a bit. Not caught up on what changes I've done so far. Hot end wise, it's just the hot end mount, right, to the tap. So it basically this whole mount was changed for the tap mount. So this, you know, this is going to cause different frequencies without this on, and with the tap mount on, you're going to get different frequencies, hence the need to rerun input shaper. But that's really, tap requires a lot of changes. Well, it required a lot of configuration changes, and it required a mount change. Yes, definitely required a lot of changes for the mount, because you're totally replacing this guy. Right? So, and now I'm also going to be able to get rid of, actually I can pop this off, but I'm going to also be able to get rid of the clicky probe mount now, because I don't need the clicky probe anymore. I should put this guy with this guy. So yeah, so this is still a perfectly good working clicky probe, but we don't need it anymore right now. So, and I can get rid of the mount, which will clean up the back here. And then what I want to do is eventually put a nozzle, like, you know, one of those, a nozzle brush on it, so that we have a clean nozzle for the for when we do our tapping. Yeah, but that's it. And then I'm also for the hot end, I'm going to be putting this on. I'm putting the a new cover on the stealth burner, because I think this looks more funky for this kind of, you know, all the colors in the printer and stuff. I think it looks kind of cool. So That's going to be the newest member of that. And then with that, I'm hoping that I can get the LEDs going. So, yeah. Who's emailing me this time of the night? Oh, now live on your channel. Okay, it's just a notification that I'm live. No probe of any description on the Ender 5 Pro. Huh. Are you running Clipper on your Ender 5? I think you need Clipper. I'm pretty sure you need Clipper to use the clicky probe. Holy beard. You'd think I hadn't shaved all week. When I jam a screwdriver in here to prevent this from turning, it's pretty solid. Bungee cords with the brush to get better nozzle wipe. I've got, for the nozzle wipe, the other option I was thinking for the nozzle wipe is I have a sheet here. Oh, I love the smell. I have a sheet of silicone. So I was thinking cutting strips of silicone and using this for the nozzle wipe, because that's similar to what the Bamboo Labs uses, is like a silicone wheel for a nozzle wipe. But so I've got this silicone, and if you cut sheets and you basically layer it like so, or whatever, you know what I'm saying here. If you layer it in here like this, and then boom, 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 that'll make a great nozzle wipe as well, because your filament will stick nicely to the silicone. So I've got that possibly to use, and then also it's not going to wear a nozzle out as much as the nozzle running over a brass brush over and over, a brass nozzle running over the brush over and over, wearing the nozzle down. So it won't accept Clipper firmware. Okay. So it was all physical, yeah. Electronical snapshot, really, yes. I took the, I had to rerun a wire. I had to run a wire from the head, because the probe, it's the, it's not a physical probe, it's an optical probe. It uses a 5-volt, so it's got a 5-volt power plus a ground plus a signal. So I had to run a triple wire. So I ran a triple wire, had to run down to the board so that we could power the probe. That's the only electronics change, was running the wire down to the probe and plugging it into the 5 volts with the ground and with the signal. And it just went 6 or 7 strips would do it. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Golden Jaguar, listen, we'll catch you later. Thanks for popping on. I appreciate that. Talk to you soon, man. Awesome. We got to have you on stream soon. Yeah, so that was the only thing. And then it, the ground and signal plugged into the same spot that the Z probe plugged into, this little Z switch that's on the back of the bed. So that's not needed anymore, but I'm not going to take it off. I'm going to leave it. The only thing I'm going to take off is the clicky probe mount here, the clicky probe dock. I don't need that on there anymore. Yes, I use this. That's right. I use the servo wire. Yeah, worked perfectly too. Worked great. So here we look so far. Floor cam. There we are so far. Again, there might be a bit of ringing in there, but I think doing another input shaper is going to take care of some of that. There we go. Look at that. Still clean looking though. I'm going to save my flashlight battery a little bit, throw that away. Yeah. Actually, I wonder if I pull this camera over. Let's just try something here. I know you're going to get dizzy for a minute here. Let's switch over to here so you don't get so dizzy. Oh, get out of there. Let's pull this camera over. Does this go any higher? Goes a little higher. This camera might be over. This camera might give a decent view in here. Let's just see. I haven't tried this before. Well, that's not bad. And if I can zoom in on it, fun with cameras. Can I zoom in anymore? Why are you not zooming? Let's just see something here. Huh, I think the zoom function on my camera is busted. I may have to reboot the camera. I'm gonna reboot this camera real quick. It should be zooming, and the zoom function is not working. So let's start it again. Let's see. We'll go right back to it. No, it froze. So what I got to do is go into here. And I need to go to this camera here. Which camera is that? Is that this one? Yeah. And we're going to go to this, and we're going to deactivate, activate. There we go. Okay. And let's see if the zoom function's working now. We should be able to zoom on this. There we go. There we are. Yeah, I just had to reactivate the camera. It's a bit shaky. And if I turn this other light off, you can kind of see it. It's just really shaky. Shake, rattle, and roll. Which, I didn't see ask that at first snapshot. Sorry about that. Which do I enjoy more, the printing or the tinkering? Oh gosh, I'd say if I'm being honest, I'd have to say the tinkering, because there's a certain sense of satisfaction when something works, right? A sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Since I started this hobby, this 3D printing hobby, and I never intended to have a YouTube channel, but since I started this hobby, I have learned so much about so much, and starting doing the YouTube channel and streaming has changed me personally, because I've always been, I'm holding this camera here, I've always been a shy person. There's no, when I first started streaming, if you go back in my YouTube to my very first few live streams, you can tell my personality, that my demeanor and everything has, you can see a big difference in it. This builds confidence. It's like public speaking. You think, oh, people, why people think I'm stupid, or they're looking at me laughing, funny, whatever. And that's just that's a natural fear amongst people, humans, in public speaking. This is sort of a form of public speaking. I've met a few people, local people, that have watched my streams, and it's incredible. And I have no fear. I mean, there may be somebody out, 21 people watching. There was 30-something people earlier. Some people might be watching me saying, a guy doesn't know what he's doing, idiot, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. And that's why, just like in meeting people in real life, as long as I'm happy with what I'm doing, I don't care what other people think. But I like to think, and I know I am helping some people out this way and helping along, but it's really helped me grow personally. I've learned a lot about electronics. Building these printers has taught me a lot about electronics. And again, as I say, the sense of satisfaction to actually get a box of parts and stuff, and having something like this working, and just getting this tap working, with obviously with help from a lot of you folks, which is great. It's such a good sense of satisfaction. The printing, I love the printing, don't get me wrong, but I don't print as much as a lot of the other makers print, because I'm spending a lot of time tinkering and building and upgrading, and you know, but I do print when I have to print. You know, we offer that at the business. There's customers' works that I've got to do and stuff, so I will print. But I will say I do enjoy the actual tinkering and build process a little better than the printing process. So yeah, definitely. Oh, this camera. There we go. I don't think the ringing is too bad at all from this angle. I don't, not bad at all. If it was easy, find something else to do. Exactly. You started with a ham radio 45 years ago and haven't stopped tinkering since. Yeah. And I still got a lot to learn about the Arduinos. And I've got a little, one of those kits that you get with the breadboard, I think it's called, and all this that I haven't even opened yet. So I want to get into that one day and learn all that. Yeah, the ringing doesn't look bad at all from here, from this view. I'm holding this camera because if I let it go, it starts shaking because the bench basically shakes a little bit from this. But if I hold the camera steady, because the camera's on a bit of a flimsy tripod, I can get in closer, I think, too. Let's see how close I can get into this. Let's just see, just for fun, how close that can get and what it looks like really close up. There we go. Fun to give someone something you have made, and then you say, "I made this for you." Yeah, this is great. You don't want my budget. I don't have much of a budget snapshot. Like I say, this printer here was given to me by LDO Motors and Sparta 3D to do the live builds, which I have. LDO's been great in supporting me with some printers with the Vorons, so it's awesome. Yeah, I you know, I'm hoping that I get to a point where I can do more of this, and you know, we'll see what happens. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. I don't see a whole lot of ringing on there from this view, but again, and then again, the front view. Oops, we don't have our light on there. There's my light. Where'd I put it? There's the light on that. Looks pretty good. Whoops. That's not as shaky. Yeah, again, if I move the light over, looks like it's ringing worse there, but it's the shadow. Because if I come back here, it's not so bad. So what I'm gonna do, I'm getting tired and it's 10:30 at night here. I am going, oh, that was just my flashlight magnetizing to the base. I'm gonna pull this back and we're gonna pop this print off because I gotta go to bed. I got a big day tomorrow too. I'm moving the FlashForge Creator 3 down to my office, and it's heavy. So Richard, my buddy Richard's going to come over and help me move that downtown. So let's go ahead and stop this print, and we'll have a look at it. Oh, we don't want to see that. There we go. That's better. Let's go ahead and pause and stop. There we go. Park it away, and let's just pop this off. There we go. So yeah, as I figured, the first layer could have been a little closer. Remember I said on the first layer that it looked a little bit high, so I may readjust that probe config, because yeah, that could be, come on. That could be a little, yeah, that first layer could be a little bit closer. A little more squish, but not bad. So here we are. There's the side that we printed so far. There's this one. Little bit of ringing. I will say there's a bit of ringing, but again, we'll run input shaper again. There's that. But man, that looks good. The walls are clean. So, and then there's, of course, our infill and what we've got going. There's a little bit of bridging we got on there, which decent. So that's a clean looking cube, what little we did of it. So yeah, tiny bit of stringing, a tiny bit of stringing, like we're speaking. Keep in mind though that this filament, we're stringing, yeah, a little bit of stringing in there. This filament's been sitting probably 3 years, been sitting open on my shelf too. Might be a little bit of moisture. It's PLA. We have a pretty dry environment out here, so it could be a little bit of moisture in that PLA, and that's Prusament, as I say. So I haven't used that roll in a long time, so I'm happy with that. I'm quite happy with that. So, anyways, that's kind of it. You don't see any ringing, and it could just be me being overly fussy, you know. It's probably just the shadows I'm seeing. I mean, you could very well be right. I mean, if you know, it's the way the light's hitting it too. See, I just look at the Y and I say, okay, there's a little bit of, but then when I turn it, it kind of goes away. If you look straight on the Y, it's not bad. So maybe I need to work with, just maybe tweak the pressure advance a little bit. Although that, I mean, if you look there, that looks really good. So yeah, anyways, pressure advance tuning. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll do that, and we'll still run a input shaper on it anyways, just because it's not going to hurt it. But man, that looks good. That looks better than my first tuned cube. So I don't know, who knows? I mean, the tap shouldn't have improved the quality at all. The tap's just going to make it easier to do the leveling and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to see everybody later. Thank you, everybody who's hung around, and I appreciate all your comments, all your help, and all your support. If you're not subscribed, which I think everybody here is, but go ahead and subscribe down whichever side it goes to. With the right lighting, you can make Vince Lombardi look like Marilyn Monroe. So true, Snapshot. Share my channel, guys. I'm trying to grow in 2023. I'm hoping I'm bringing quality content to you guys. I'm going to try and get more and more videos made and shorts made, and continue my live streams as well. But I want to grow my channel. I'm just striving for that 2,000 subscribers. So share as much as you can. I appreciate it. Put the word out there, and we'll keep creating content as long as everybody keeps watching. So let's go ahead and get my closing screen ready, and we'll say good night to everybody, and we'll catch all you guys. I'll be streaming Sunday again. I haven't put the notification up on YouTube yet for Sunday, but we'll be doing our Sunday stream at our standard time, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Don't know what we're going to do now that we get this done. Maybe we'll work on the LEDs. Maybe I'll save and do this funky Stealth Burner cover on Sunday on the live stream. So until I see you guys on Sunday, have a wonderful tomorrow, and have a good sleep tonight for those of you, and have a good day for those of you if it's tomorrow already. So I'll catch all you guys later. Thanks again. Take care. Bye for now.